T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Rock the world, rock the world, with me. No worries, come with me. No worries, just come with me. No worries, just come with me.
Yeah, what up? What's good? What is happening? Welcome to the King and Me show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
And we coming at y'all live Monday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone, where we do a live stream where we offer and show the real that's going on and how to maintain the real in a healthy relationship. And I just botched that up. But we're going to tell y'all what real means for us. The R means relatable.
E is entertaining.
A is accountable.
And L is for loving.
How have I gotten it good like 4 straight weeks in a row and then today just botched it up?
I think you got visually distracted.
I was. You looking fine over there. I'm just going to point that out.
Thank you, love.
So today's topic is the L. Our last previous live streams, we talked about what being relatable meant and how that can be a healthy pillar of a healthy relationship, as well as entertaining and accountable as well. So today we're going to spend a little bit of time about the word loving. And we've sort of talked about this in the past, right? But in having some conversations amongst ourselves and amongst the people that comment on our stuff on our various social medias, we wanted to close it out with this topic and this subject for the last week of April. Now, we got to get a couple of things out the way.
A couple.
Do we want to start with the gift or do we want to end with the gift?
Let's throw it in the middle.
Okay, first things first. Happy birthday
Happy birthday
to Free T.
ya. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Free T. She is a content creator here on YouTube. I just scratched the mess out of Michelle.
I think you drew blood.
And her birthday is today. I don't know what she's got going on,
Okay.
but may you have a very merry and happy birthday, Taj.
And be all things memorable, all things loving, and may it be something to rival all previous birthdays and birthday shots.
No doubt. No doubt. Second thing, shout out to Chef Q for the hookup yesterday.
Chef Q! Yes.
Chef Q wins would you call it soul food? I think it is.
Yeah.
It's B.
Yeah.
Anderson's soul food or something like that.
Yes.
Yes. But she owns a place here in Frederick. Menu and food is fantastic. I go there about every 2 weeks.
And the only thing, in all honesty, the only thing better than her food is her heart that she serves with every single meal. Like, she is a real one for sure. Like, definitely appreciate her, the love that she has continuously given us, and the love that she gives to her community. Like, I see the way she gives. And I remember one time something happened where she didn't necessarily collect all the payment for something that she was supposed to. And I saw her like dust it off with a smile. And we just both agreed that the Lord would just continue to bless her mightily just for her heart. And like, she's such an amazing woman. So we just want to go ahead and shout you out, give a shout out to your fine establishment. Again, B. Anderson's Backyard Soul Food Experience. Go ahead and check it out if you were in Frederick County. And if you're not in Frederick County, you still need to come check it out because it's just that good.
Now, we do have a question. Tarika asked, when will I be able to call in? Next episode, next Monday, we are going to do a call-in show, essentially, where we're going to ask people just to talk about what they're noticing out here in the dating and relationship marketplace. I have one person that said that they were definitely going to call in. So, Tarika, if you want to be able to call in as well, we're going to have that happen next week. And I'm going to talk to you technically about how we're going to make that work, because it's going to be a little different than what you see. But don't you worry about that. It'll get done.
I don't worry about it.
All right. Is that all the announcements? Over this past weekend.
Now we can do it.
I was going to talk about what happened on Saturday. I went to my second probate ever. And I saw how that went and met some awesome people that were a part of that fraternity. I hate that I have to limit myself because I wanted to call them the not slang word, but the shortened version. But I don't know if I can say that. So
he's talking about the mighty brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, them Qs.
Yes, I don't know if I could say Qs myself because I'm not a part of it, but they are known as the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity. Is it incorporated too?
It's incorporated.
Okay. And a lot of the awesome members who were a part of that, there were two young brothers that crossed. Is that the word?
Yes, the two sons of tenacity representing the Alpha Lambda chapter, the Mountain Qs of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
And they did it in the community, which I think is dope, right? It puts eyes on, like, wait, what are these people and what are they doing? Yeah. And if somebody want to ask questions, they could come up and ask the questions. But a lot of the members in the fraternities and sororities, as I learned, their mission statement is about being in the community and giving back into the community. This lovely lady right here is a part of a sorority, and we went to her chapter, the 20th anniversary of the local chapter that's here. Yeah. And I learned about the history of how it got started and the reason why it got started. And a lot of the local government even came to give a congratulations and certificate of appreciation and thing as well for a lot of the great positive things that her sorority and their members over the last 20 years have done here locally. So it was pretty cool to see all of that. And I got on one of those 360 spinny camera things for the first time.
And that was your first time?
That was my very first time.
Aww. I popped your...
Give me some. Yes. So that's all of the things that happened over the last weekend or so. We were talking about our schedule that's upcoming, and between now and like August, it's ridiculous. But I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for having the opportunity to just live life and do some things. So we have a couple of regional trips that are coming up that we'll be looking forward to. Her family reunion on her paternal side. I've met a pretty good portion of them over the last several months.
We about to turn up in July. Like, we about to turn all the way up. July is about to be that month.
And I'm looking forward to that. I'm going up to the NBA Hall of Fame. If you happen to be watching this show and you live up near the NBA Hall of Fame, pull up.
Holla at us.
Holla at us. All right.
So y'all, want to know what else happened this weekend? Saturday was a very, very, very special day. Okay, April 20th was a special day. King, do you want to know why it was a special day?
Yes, it was.
Ow.
Now this lady cracks me up because I got her a gift, but I told her what it was, and then she tells me that she got me a gift.
Yes.
And she's horrible at keeping secrets, but she managed to keep it a secret.
Just barely.
I had no idea what it was going to be. And when she showed me the gift, like she kind of dropped some hints on Friday or Saturday.
I don't know.
One of those days.
Because I was just anxious.
And I just couldn't figure it out. But then the moment I got in the car, instantly knew what it was because we talk about it on this podcast.
Okay.
So
here's the setup. Here's the setup,
Go
y'all.
ahead.
So y'all know every week King gets on here and he's like, we're a new-ish couple. And I would always look at him and be like, King, like, we've been together for over a year. How long are you going to say we're a new-ish couple? And he's like, 18 months. 18 months is a newish couple. So on Friday, when I got in his car, I was like, this is for you. So here it is.
So I get it. And before I even pulled it out, I started laughing because I knew what it was immediately. So y'all see how we have these backdrop of things or whatnot. The camera should be, it was lowered, then I moved it up, but whatever.
Life happens.
This is one of my favorite pictures.
Look at that, y'all. So if you can't see, it says no longer new-ish couple and then King and Michelle, and it has our anniversary date on there. One of my co-workers, so I'm a CTE teacher, specifically a business teacher, and one of my co-workers, he does laser etching on wood. So all we have to do is give him a picture and he's able to get it in there. So I gave him a picture with this whole thing and he was able to do this for us. But look at that, y'all.
So I laughed immediately and I thanked her, and I was probably smiling all day on just this alone. All right. So we now have another backdrop. I can no longer call us a newish couple because we've passed our threshold of 18 months. And look, I believe there's been people that have gotten married in less than a year.
Look, there are people who got married and done came up on their first kid within 18 months of knowing each other. So I'm just saying.
But with our relationship, I don't think I've ever said this. I'm being intentional about every single thing that happens in this relationship. Good and bad. All right. I'm taking accountability for all of my actions, good and bad. And I like the pace of where we're at. I like the love that you and I show each other. And as long as it continues, this relationship's going to be great. Do anything that goes against the contract and stuff that I've said is a no-go, and vice versa. I don't expect us to work out if we can't continue doing the things that we contractually said we would do for each other. That's how I think about it. I'm the least romantic, lovey-dovey person I know, but I speak well to contracts and what I agreed to do. All right.
Can we adjust the camera?
Yes. Thank you. So I probably would have knocked that over. All right. So while we adjust the camera, go ahead and get us set up for our thingy.
I think.
Is this good?
Oh, that's really low, but
Okay.
a little bit higher.
How you like that?
Higher. Hey, Pete.
What up, Pete?
So I feel like the height is good. I just feel like it's a little.
So it's angled down and like it's angled intentional.
That's fine.
Okay.
Can we just like rotate it just a little bit because it's a little bit off center? There we go. Okay.
All right, bet.
All right. So let's go into our let's get deep icebreaker. Oh, this is a trick question, but I'm gonna still ask it.
All right.
It's not a trick question. It's an obvious question.
What up?
Did you play any sports growing up?
Yes. So if you follow me enough, you know I played football. I was pretty good at it. Yada, yada. I was a tailback and a fullback. I played on defense, but defense wasn't my strong suit. I relish running the ball and running people over. What people don't know, unless you know me, I tried basketball first. And I suck at it. Suck at it to this day. I just was never good at it. If you needed a body, put me in, coach. Outside of that, couldn't shoot. I could rebound and I could guard. And that's about it. And I'm also vertically challenged. So I was like 5'7" going into high school. I maybe grew an extra inch, and then that was it. But being a 5'8" running back, perfect for my build. What about you?
No.
I know the answer, but
I ain't play nothing.
Nothing.
That Jamaican name let me out the house.
Nothing.
I ain't play no
How
sport.
you gonna be like 5'9" and play no sport?
None.
That's a whole waste of height.
You know what is discriminatory? People will look at me and be like, "Oh, did you play basketball? Why you assume that a tall black person played basketball? Like, come on.
'Cause
Can
it's
you
a
talk
whole
about a stereotype?
Waste
No,
of
I ain't
height.
play. Well, hey, look.
Your
you
butt
know,
could have been in somebody's college on somebody's athletic
I
scholarship.
could have been on somebody. I could have been in the WNBA complaining about the rookie salary too.
You could have been in the WNBA making good money to play 40 games and then the playoffs. Just saying.
All right. So Tarika says that she was a gymnast and a cheerleader. Okay.
Tarika, I did not know that. I know Tarika works out every day.
Mhm.
She's in fantastic shape. I didn't know she was a gymnast.
I
But
work my mind every day.
now it makes sense, though.
It does. That makes a lot of
Can you
sense.
do it? Tarika, little known fact about me. Way back in 3rd grade, I dated a
goodness.
gymnast. But the reason why I bring that up, I can still do a backflip. All 286 pounds, and she knows this because I just stepped on the scale. All 286 pounds out of shape of me can still do a back handspring. I can do a back tuck as well. I'm not gonna say probably. I know I can. It is going to hurt everything in my body to accomplish this, but I can still do it. Like on regular ground. Give me a trampoline and it's easy. On regular ground, I might be a little nervous. So, but it was because I dated a gymnast in 3rd grade.
What I can do? Well, let me rephrase that. You know what I could do at one point? I was limber enough, I could tumble. And that was it.
Like cartwheels and stuff?
No, not cartwheels, literally. The little on the ground
Like
roll.
a forward roll, like a combat roll?
Yeah. Not a full combat roll, because a combat roll you still start up, but like literally I'd be on the ground and I could roll over. There it is. All my talent.
She said she still can. Look, that's dope. People are surprised at me because of how out of shape I am, and at 40 that I can still do a back handspring. I have made money because of that skill.
Well, stop saying it here so that you can make.
Oh yeah,
We're not
sure.
talking about nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing happening here.
deep question.
What's the most impressive thing you know how to do?
I just talked about it. So that is my answer. I can still do a back handspring at 40 and 285 pounds.
I would say my most impressive thing that I can do is Mandarin. I don't know.
That's good. Like, is that the Ichi ni san?
No, that's Japanese.
That's Japanese? Okay.
Irresponsible.
That was 1 through 10?
Yep.
You know 0?
No, I never did learn 0.
Okay.
And technically, they have a repetitive system. So, like, if you gave me enough time, I could get to 99. It would just be really slow after like 15.
Tarika asked me if I still work out or if I've quit. Great question. Let's talk about it now.
Go.
All right. So I fell off. I fell off hard.
We fell off.
We fell off. So we've said that we're not going to make every month, this is going to be the thing, or every week. We're going to plan out our fitness journey together for the next day. So on Sunday, we talked about what we were going to do today. On today, we're going to plan out and make sure that we have a schedule of what we're going to do tomorrow. So her and I said for today, let's ensure we get 3 intentional miles.
Yep.
Separately, we did 2 miles independent and we logged it so that we've got the, proof, so to speak. And then together, before we went live today, we got out and did like 1.7. So we did about 3.7 miles together, 3.8, depending on what tracker that you're using. And we're going to be doing this at least 5 days a week. All right. So we both realized that in order to have a healthy relationship, your physical health matters as well for the most that, you can do. And I'm not going to go sad today, but I was also impressed because yesterday when I was out buying shoes for how more active I'm about to become, I saw this couple as I was in those, those mall massage chairs. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I knew that couple was going around and around, I spent 30 minutes in the mall massage chair. And I saw a 40-ish couple, both male and female. I don't know if they were married because I didn't pay attention to their hands, but they had gone around the whole mall at least 4 times. And I saw it, I was like, oh, here they are just walking and talking at a good pace in the mall, and here I am getting this massage in this massage chair. I also think I saw the spiky haired person from ASL. I don't remember names that well, but she was wearing a mask, like short, spiky hair from
No
ASL.
clue, honey.
Jan?
I don't know.
Okay.
So,
I don't know if she watches our stream.
no
But-
castles, man.
Okay, but it was the one short, spiky hair. Okay. She was wearing a mask. If that was you and I didn't speak, I apologize. But you also, I wasn't wearing a mask. So if you saw me, if you would have waved, I would have known that it was you. But we like locked eyes and it didn't say nothing.
All right, so Sarika says that she plays the piano, and I think Pete said something. He's 7 months. He quit smoking 7 months ago, and he's down 23 pounds.
23?
So congratulations to you both.
Yes, he talks about it on his channel. If you don't watch Grooming and Reviews 101, he covers a lot of different topics, but one of his weekly things is he talks about his own health and fitness journey. I haven't seen the last 2 episodes, so I didn't know he was down that much. Pete, keep that up, brother.
All right.
last
And
thing.
our deeper, what are you extremely opinionated about?
Being accountable in life. And secondary to that, the reason why I laughed the way that I did, right from wrong, and being able to give constructive feedback about certain things without feeling like entities would want me to be quiet. What is yours, babe?
Am I extremely about that are taught that will better prepare life and not be everything, and that teachers need more because we're severely under.
Can we do that without raising taxes, or would we need to raise like
Taxes have to, in this county, property taxes haven't been raised in.
it'd be a combination of taxes that have to be cut elsewhere. You have to appropriately appropriate your funds. I like that. Appropriately appropriate.
I think that there's a systemic issue that just comes down where how is it that we have so much money to pay athletes, to pay doctors, to pay every other profession, except teachers are the ones that prepare you for that profession. Whatever profession you enter, there's mysteriously no money to public school. Well, school systems, because despite what people think, private school teachers don't get paid a lot of money either. The money goes to the school and to the things that they offer for the students. Money doesn't go to teachers. Like private schools typically don't have unionized workers, so they're definitely not getting paid in a public school. They also have less requirements. Like private schools don't have to be certified to teach.
Oh snap! Let a private school offer me my current salary. I'm teaching in a heartbeat.
I love my public. That's the shirt you will see me in tomorrow. I love my public school. I do.
So that was one of the things when I went to go. Was I supposed to register?
Did you register?
I did.
Okay, yeah.
But then it asked that thing is,
That
do
shirt.
you have a shirt?
Did you say no?
I said yes, but it
Oh.
didn't say what size.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'll text message.
I'm not squeezing in a medium.
let me text message now.
I'm just gonna let you know that I'd be willing to wear the shirt, but I'm not squeezing in a
Just
medium.
wear a red shirt. I know you
Alright.
got red shirts.
That.
Red for Ed.
We went a little bit longer on our intro
We
than
did.
we said that we were gonna do. Try to keep the intros long, but we had a lot to announce.
We did.
As
we had
well.
a lot of announcements, a lot of celebratory things here. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
All right, babe.
Love. We've talked about this before.
So many people. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm here. I'm here for it.
And as we talked about this, one of the comments that we had from somebody that lives in Germany said that for him, he requires unconditional love. But because he doesn't see that being something that can be given, he will never find it. And I thought that was interesting.
I saw his post and I was like, I just want to give Jay a hug and just like wrap him up in my arms because like he needs love. And like, I don't know what he is not getting out in Germany. That hurt. That hurt. But I don't know what he is not getting in Germany, but I just wanted to give him a hug and embrace him and let him know you are loved and you deserve nothing less than that. And I am so sorry that you haven't received it, but I truly believe that it's out there for him.
I don't need love. And I mean that. I don't need love. I need respect. I don't need love. And I'm going to stand on that statement. No. Yet.
Humans need love.
We don't.
Yes, we do.
Says who?
The Bible.
What does the Bible say about needing love?
The Bible says that when God created everything, he saw that man was without woman, and it was the first thing that he said was not good. And he created woman so that man would not be alone. Love. Genesis.
Okay. What about needing multiple wives? So can I go out and get multiple wives?
No,
they had that in the Bible.
That was in the
Genesis is Old Testament.
Genesis is Old Testament.
So if Genesis is Old Testament,
no.
Then why do I still need love?
You can go ahead and go get the multiple, because that's also talked about in the New Testament. So when Jesus, the disciples asked Jesus, which commandment is the greatest of all of them? And Jesus went on to say, because it was right there in Matthew something 37 through 39. Just read it this morning. Jesus said that to love the Lord your God, put him first, but before all else is the first thing, and then to love one another as you love yourself. Those are the two greatest commandments. You follow those, you'll be good. Love.
Okay.
Two greatest commandments pertain to.
In one of our prior live streams, we talked about the different types of love. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't need romantic love.
You can go into your specification all you want to, but you need love. That's what I said.
I don't think I need it. Is it a nicety to have in life?
Need love.
I think so.
You
but
need love.
Do I need it to live?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
You might.
We do.
I don't.
You do.
Humans don't. No.
Yes. You're also the same person who said hearts don't smile, and that we debunked that theory.
Yeah.
You're also the same person who said that we weren't going to be a couple, and clearly we debunked that theory.
Yeah.
So it just stands to reason that we can just skip all the homogalage, word I just made up,
I like
and
it.
just go straight to the I'm right.
No. I find it interesting, right? So with Jay, I believe if Jay finds somebody that does meet that, and I want to say, in my opinion, observationally, and talking with other men, men don't ask for a lot. We don't. There was something that's been going viral here lately where it's like, you ask a modern woman what they need, it's the 6 6s plus take me out on dates weekly, plus rub my feet at least 2 nights a week, plus XYZ. And then it says, if you ask a modern man what they want, it's like one sentence.
I have a pushback on what you said and what Jay said. So if Jay said, if you're saying you don't believe men need love, need respect, then wouldn't it stand to reason that the unconditional love that Jay is seeking is what he needs given a woman, and what he in turn needs, according to your theory, unconditional respect? So if that's what he needs, then he's looking for the wrong thing if he's out there looking for unconditional love, because he's the one who needs giving that unconditional love in order to get the unconditional respect in return.
My brain hurts. I don't know if I'm agreeing or disagreeing with what you just said. If y'all have a thought to that, please put it in the comment section. Pete said that I can rub his feet. Pete, you might be joking, but here's the thing. Didn't Jesus rub his disciples' feet?
He washed their feet, which is why I sent you the picture.
Yeah. I'm not against rubbing people's feet, and I'm not even a religious person. You know why? In my opinion, King is but a humble man. I am a servant of the people. That's how I view myself. If somebody needed their feet washed, I would wash their feet.
Already.
So yeah, with Jay, I think you could be right. Now, that subject itself, though, unconditional respect, what does that look like?
I think honestly, that's one of those you have to have that conversation with that person, understand what love means, what respect means to them, to see what the unconditional of it would.
Okay.
Because I think for us, what you and I define as respect may not be what someone else does as respect. And it's not to say that one of us is right or wrong, but say that we just view
I get that.
differently. You know?
Yeah.
Like for me, you and I, we did something playfully in the street today. Like we were just like joking around, right? And I told you about that whole trend that's going around on social media. And personally, this is Michelle's belief, I don't necessarily support TikToks where it looks like a man and a woman play fighting. And it's only because there was one time in my life where I was play fighting with someone and I accidentally hit them. Like it was legitimately an accident.
Mhm.
It wasn't, there was no malicious intent behind it. It was legitimately an accident. So I don't believe in squaring up unless you're going to really hit somebody.
No doubt.
Again, something I've never really had to do because I've only fought my sister in real life. But so like that's my thing. Like I don't subscribe to that. There are also many other things. Like we see so many things that are happening in social media where like men imitate what their female partner does in a relationship, you know, with the makeup and dresses and stuff like that. I don't subscribe to that. Like I don't believe that you should have to do that in the name of comedy. That's my personal thing. And I feel like it's not necessarily a level of disrespect to the person that they're imitating, but a level of disrespect to themselves to have to imitate the other person. And I don't feel it's necessary. So for me, I look at that and I'm just like, nah, you don't have to do that. So I'm just like, for me, that's a level of disrespect. Other people may not view it as a level of disrespect, and it's fine if they don't. But that's why I say that we see things differently. Like not every couple is going to see things the same way. So.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. I can rock with that.
Look, y'all, I'm cooking with grease tonight.
And even Tarika, as she was listening, because there's a little bit of a delay, but she said that she agrees as well. Now, I can't say specific things because I haven't asked this person if I could talk about this, but something that, without giving any names or anything, I was aware of a story here recently, and one of the things that we always talk about is something that we learned from The Real Precious, and I subscribe to it wholeheartedly: being hot, honest, open, and transparent. Again,
shout out to The Real Precious.
Shout out to The Real Precious. And we're both over the age of 30. It took me, when I got out of my divorce, I was 34. Got back into the dating scene, was like, what in the world did I just walk into, right? And for most, not all, I felt as though people were showing representatives of who they actually were, not truly being honest. I was doing the same thing. I was showing up in dates, not being truly honest. I was given a representative, right? And you can't really build a healthy relationship when you're showing your representative to somebody because they don't know the real person. They might actually meet the real person 18 months down the line and realize, I don't really like this person. Or I don't really like some of their values or things. Right? Because they only showed you the good sides. They might be blinking too loud. I thought that was hilarious. And you are now working on a new relationship path with the real person that you actually have the relationship with, and not that representative that you got shown initially. I did with Michelle and two people prior to you said that I'm going to show up as me. I am going to be me. I'm going to let you know who I am and what I'm about. Take it or leave it, right? I won't feel any type of way if what I am, the actual me and not my representative, the actual Kingsman, and not my representative. If it's not for you, okay, go find somebody who is. I'm not gonna feel offended if who I am isn't for you. Before that revelation, I used to feel some type of way. I did used to feel some type of way when I would get rejected. But when I look back at it, I also wasn't being me. I wasn't being hot with people. So I learned to just be hot. And if I'm rejected while I'm being hot, I don't care.
I think authenticity. I think of my cousin, of my cousins, on my dad's side, when I think of authenticity. One was married for many years to a pastor. And when that divorce was finalized, she came out and she published a book that was entitled Authentically Me.
Okay.
So I'm not like sharing anything she hasn't shared. Like her book is on Amazon. And I remembered seeing that version of her and I'm thinking, it's a very beautiful version. But then she went deeper into her authenticity and the woman that she is now, I'm like, that's my cousin right there. Like, absolutely gorgeous because sincerely able to push in the truest and most authentic version of herself. And I think that don't do before they go out and date. I think there's in historically, if we want, that, you know, people, especially women, they go and they put on all this makeup to cover who they truly are on the inside. And then in the morning, when the lights come on, all that makeup is gone and you're just left with this raw person. And it's like, what if you gave people that raw person from the beginning? Give people that authenticity. That is why I literally and figuratively don't wear makeup, because I want you to see, like, you get what you get. Very open, very upfront about everything that I've been through, everything that I've gone through, and I own up to my role in mistakes that were made because I'm too old to be blaming someone else for my mistakes.
That is rare, especially from your gender. But continue.
Look, I'm too old to not be owning up to my mistakes. And then especially with me being a high school teacher and me wanting my students to have a level of accountability, I feel like what I look like not having accountability. So I really am at that point in my life where I'm just like, I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be honest and I'm going to share what I know is my perspective on things, what I did, what I could have done better. And if you accept that, you accept that. If you don't, hey, I'm not for you. And that's fine.
There was a comment in here. Tarika said, why should anyone pretend to be something they're not? I believe in being yourself. Tarika, let me ask you though, because the person who I'm counseling about relationships and things like that, I'm telling her to try being hot. And she's like, ill a bit on that. And what she's finding is that while she is working towards doing that herself, she's meeting men that aren't being hot with her. And she's like, how do I get past that? And my only advice is you keep trying and you keep searching until you find someone that is. I could see it from her early on. Actually, it was refreshing because remember how I told you twice before you I was? One of those two I learned about after the fact was not necessarily all the way honest with me. All right. And I, just be straight up. And I excused it because of how everything else that came along with who she was.
See?
But I would never do that again.
And see, I think for me to kind of answer to Tarika's question, people aren't okay with themselves. Like you really, one
That
thing
part.
that I did in my seasons of singleness, I went on dates with myself, and like I have grown adult married women who are like, I just admire the way you can go about yourself. Well, heck yeah, if I can't love me, why would I expect someone else to love me? If I can't go out, and I sometimes it is a generational thing because the generations before us, they didn't stuff like that. Like that wasn't heard of. You go out with your female friends, or you go out with your lady friends, or you go out with your partner, but you don't just go out by yourself. I get it. It's a generational thing. But I also look at it like we're in a different era. And if I can't love every single part of me, then why should I expect someone else to love me?
Thank you. I am going to echo that. But before I do, shout out to Richard for popping in on the chat. Hey, man, I appreciate you for tuning in over here. Now, I'm going to echo that. When I noticed that things kind of turned around personally for me and just being able to accept who I was, if I wanted to go to Ruth's Chris, I wasn't looking for company. Hey, man, I'm going to call up so-and-so. I know, she want to get something to eat. I don't want to go by myself. Nope. If
You
I
still
want
do
to
that
steak,
now.
I'm going out and I'm going to enjoy that steak. If I want to go to the movies, there are people that feel some type of way about going to the movies by themselves. I'm not waiting on nobody to go view a movie. If I want to go see a movie, I'm going to go see a movie because I don't care about being seen or being out solo. I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying things myself. I'm enjoying a good meal out and about. It was always interesting on the times that I would dress up because basketball shorts and a t-shirt are my go-to. I will occasionally dress up a bit. And I would always find it interesting when I would go to some place like Ruth's Chris and I'd be there and they're like, oh, you waiting on somebody? I was like, nope, this is a reservation for one, yada yada. I was like, you want a bar or table? I'm like, I want a table. I would 99% of the time have somebody ask me, hey, excuse me, sir, are you by yourself? And they'd be like, yeah. They're like, oh, did your date cancel on you? Like, sorry if I'm being intrusive. No, I just wanted to get dressed up and come and have a good steak from Ruth's Chris.
Now, I'll be honest, I have no problem like going out by myself to eat and not sitting at a bar top. Like I can sit at a regular table.
Yeah.
But remember when we went to Yard House and where we sat at Yard House?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't sit in that type of table by myself. So when we went to Yard House, our table was literally kind of like in the middle of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to sit in the middle of the floor table by myself. So I think placement means everything. Like in that situation, and it's only because it's not because I'm by myself, but low key, I didn't want to sit in that table with you because it was just like
It was crowded.
It was crowded and it was people like all over the place. So for me, I wouldn't have wanted to do that either because when you're by yourself and a woman, it's different because people are going to keep coming up to you after a while and they're going to want to join you, and I would not have wanted.
It's so cringy to me when I see a woman that's out by herself. And I believe I've gotten to a point in my life being able to look at things observationally and read the room.
Yeah.
And you can see women that are out that want attention, right? But they're still weeding out and navigating who gives them attention. And then there's women that are out by themselves that aren't seeking attention. They're just enjoying whatever museum thing that they're at. They're enjoying whatever meal or concert
that's when we get all the
or
attention.
event. And yet they'll still have people coming up and I'm looking at this and I'm going, why can't these men see that she clearly doesn't want to be bothered? She's just being nice right now, but I've seen women just be nice and not having guys read the room to see that this lady didn't want to be bothered. She's just out enjoying herself. Society has this thing. Maybe it's wired in DNA. I don't know how to explain it because I see it every time you have a moderately attractive woman out by herself. The natural thing is, wait, why ain't she with nobody? Or where's her man at? And then guys go, if they don't see no ring and there's not a man that's within her proximity for 5 minutes. I don't even think it takes that long. They just feel compelled. Hey, baby. Or not even baby or something. Oh. That's the line. That's the line.
I heard that.
That is the line. I've used it one time. Yep. Or I used a version of it. How did I do it? I said, oh, you know me, because I always like to joke. I just went and sat down. Now I was like, oh, my bad. I thought you and I were supposed to be on a date, but you didn't know about it.
No, he didn't.
She cracked up laughing, and I said, I'm King. She introduced herself. We had dinner together. Changed numbers. Don't know where. But I tried a version. I tried a version of that. And I'm not going to front. Kind of surprised it worked. I actually didn't know what I was going to say before I sat down. It was complete improv. But I was also surprised that I was prepared for her to say, hey, I just want some alone time. I would have been like, have a good day. Not unlike how some of these people go, well, F you did. You ain't fine enough to be blah, blah, blah. Anyway, talk about it.
So I wear a ring on my right hand, not on my left hand. And there are moments where I'm like, okay, well, it's nice to meet you. It was great talking to you. Yeah, no, I am married. Did you see how quickly that changed hands?
Mm-hmm.
Because that was slick. That's what I have to do sometimes.
That was slick.
It's hard because my right hand is fatter than my left hand. But sometimes I'll have to do that because then, respectfully, not all men that well and think that you're being rude. Like I remember I was coming out of the gym one time and I have a Jamaican flag in my car, and this guy who had apparently been peeping me out in the gym, he was leaving too, and he saw the Jamaican flag and he started asking me, he's like, where are you from? I was like, oh, my family's from Jamaica. He's like, oh, where from? And I was like, Brownstown. He was like, oh, I'm from like Trelawney and all that other stuff. I was like, oh, okay, nice to meet you. And he was like, my name is, I honestly, it was name. Then my name is this, and I said, oh, hi, my name's Michelle. And he was like, would you like to? And I was like, my boyfriend would agree with that. That is normally always the line that I say. I don't think my boyfriend would agree to that. And pray that it works out well, that they don't like retaliate in any way, shape, or form. Because while it's never happened to me, praise God, thank you, it has happened to women where they reject a guy and it doesn't go over well. But I try to do it with a smile because it's also, I feel, not all the time, because crazy is crazy, but I also feel like it's how you say something to people.
Yes.
So I try to be respectful and not disrespectful or anything like that in any way, shape, or form. But I do want to make it very clear that I'm not single. And if for whatever reason I'm feeling like they're not picking up on the fact that, I'm not single, then yes, I will switch the hand that my ring is on and continue the conversation with very, very extravagant hand gestures to make it known that there's something on the left hand so that it draws attention to the left hand.
You know what's funny? Somebody like me might not even pick up on that.
Yeah, probably.
Might not even pick up on that. Now, we're going to be broken records, I believe, because I am going to stand on business, as they say. That's the new thing for this quarter. And talk about when it comes to love in a relationship, I believe it should start with that honesty up front. When you meet somebody, you're total strangers in it, right? And you build trust. We tried something that I thought was a little bit different in that we tried showing trust or like giving that trust, and like basically it's up to you to screw it up. So we tried giving trust early on, like with phone stuff.
Oh yeah, we had passwords and
passwords and all of that things.
Well, we weren't even a couple.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, we won.
We were not a couple when we did that stuff. No.
Yeah. Y'all, she pulled out all the tricks, did she?
Stop.
Wow. Like I'm really replaying some stuff, and I'm like, know how you replay things in your head? I'm really replaying stuff like, wait, you pulled out all the stops, but I say that in jest.
Okay.
Yet I can respect it because if you're showing me, hey, I am going to show you me, I am going to give you trust, I am going to do all of these things, and it's up to you to break it. It's up to you to not cherish it. It's up to you to destroy it, right? I think that that's not a bad thing to ask from somebody. As long as that person honors that and doesn't misuse it.
Right.
You know, and it you have to assess if what you're doing to show love is the right thing for that relationship, and if you can trust that the other person isn't going to abuse it.
So let me add to that. You said you have to be honest when you're in a relationship, but the truth is you have to be honest with yourself too. Like you have to enter into every single dating ship and every single relationship with the honesty of what do I want from this? Like what do I really want from this? What is my end goal? What am I offering relationship? What am I bringing to it? What do I want the other person able to contribute? And where can I realistically going? Because if you can't do
That's
that,
it.
then you're setting yourself up for failure and you're going in there with higher expectations of the relationship possibly heal. I was thinking about this earlier because I was thinking about like my relationships. Oh, well, who was I in a relationship with before such and such? Oh yeah, that's right. Like I was in like a little short fling or whatever with someone. Then I was like in two situationships before that. And I wasn't being honest. Like I allowed the person to set the tone for things. And there's nothing wrong with the other person setting the tone. But I was going along with the flow because I wasn't being honest with myself about what I wanted. You and I, we got started, yeah, we did a lot of things at the beginning. And some of the trust things that I rendered to you is we had decided early on that we were friends. Like, okay, well, you're my friend and I can trust you. And I am that person who, if I have decided that you're my friend, regardless of your gender, I trust you, not trust you. But the second, like a bloodhound, I sniff out that there's some level of trust, it's completely gone on my part. Completely gone. But with you and I, we had made that decision back like on our first outing that we were just going to be friends. And I was okay with that. I was like, hey, he don't know. He just got a new best friend and we about to ride this thing out. So I don't see a problem with my friend having my password because okay, maybe you need to unlock my phone and get to it for some reason. Like I don't know, maybe you need that. So there were things that I didn't mind doing with you because at the end of the day, I was like, friends, that's fine.
We have to greet somebody in YouTube. Paul Bennett. Said greetings, King and Miss Early.
Greetings. Wait, Miss Early?
M and a S. That assumes me to believe that you might know who Paul Bennett is.
Hold on, let me.
If not, then what up, Paul?
I think it may be a respect thing.
Hey, I admire it.
Oh, yeah, wait. How do you. Oh, my name is on the screen.
It's on the screen. Oh my goodness.
It's a Friday yet? It's a Friday yet?
No, hey Paul, man, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
So it's always interesting the people that we have tune in. Our channel's small. We're looking at building it. The people that do tune in and show up, they tune in and show up. But Free T was somebody who I grew up with that discovered our channel organically. So I'm always curious when I see new names if it's somebody who I know.
Especially, like, I can tell how a person knows me based on how they greet me. So if someone calls me Shelly, they knew me from my youth. Like, you knew me before 25. If someone calls me Miss Michelle, they knew me for a certain period of my life. If someone calls me Miss Early, like, they're a current student or something like that. If someone calls me Shell, they know me from the adult period of my life. If someone calls me my Bow, then they're like really close to me, and again, a certain age. So like I can kind of place age segments on when I know people based on what they call me. And if they call me by my middle name, then it's my sister.
Before I go away from this real quick and we get back on topic, there was something that happened also that told me I can't be nefarious around the local area because everybody knows her.
Okay.
Everybody knows her.
Right.
So
Why
as
you
I
gotta point at
go,
me like that?
so as I go and pick up something, somebody goes, "Are you Miss Early's boyfriend?"
And you know, she came up to me today.
Did
and
you
she,
see her?
Yeah, so first of all, I went and told one of her teachers. I was like, "Did you know that she has a job?" And she was like, "Yeah, you must have found out just like I did." I was like, "Well, technically, my man found out before I did because he found out and then had to come home and tell me." But no, I saw her. Like, she came up and found me today, and I was like, "So, when did you start working there?" But yeah, no, she
No.
told me about it.
No, I think it's cool. So if you're new to the channel, she's a teacher, and the amount of young teenagers, she's a high school teacher that comes up to her and shows love and respect and things like that. It is always cool to see. And you're in your third year.
Third year as
And you're
teacher of record, 7th year with the district.
okay. Have you seen a full high school from start to finish yet?
This is my year of start to finish. So actually, the person who spoke to you is one of my start to finish babies.
Nice.
So I was there COVID year when she came in, and I remember working with her. Her English wasn't where it is now. And she and her twin, they invited me to their quinceañera. We live on the same street now, literally in walking distance. So this is a full circle. So for me, this class is a very important class that's graduating because we both started high school together, and they're graduating 20 years after I graduated. So like they're my anniversary babies too, because I'm coming up on my 20th year high school. So it's like, oh, y'all are class of 2024. I'm class of 2004, and this is my first full set of babies.
Nice. All right. We talked about at the beginning of this live stream that we both, or that you actually had a lot of events and things, and I went to support you in those events. And for me, that was easy. That's how I show love. I show love by showing up, essentially, right? There were things that you expressed that you cared about. You asked me if I wanted to go to one thing, which was the dinner.
Yeah.
And I said, well, yep, sure, count me in. And shout out to the business that was able to get me a suit like the day prior and fitted it up, and it looked nice.
Don't forget to call about the tie.
Thank you. Then you added something else to the plate. And I think initially I probably asked you a question, and then I was like, I don't have anything else. Sure, why not? Right? Or I didn't probably quite say it that way, but I was just like, all right, sure. But,
no, you were like, what are the time implications? Yeah.
But I don't mind spending time with Michelle. Michelle is awesome. So if you're out there looking for a relationship, one of the things you should ask yourself, do I actually like being around this person?
That's a good question to ask.
Like, straight up. There are times where I told Michelle early on that I have moments where I just need time. But I don't spring that on her without telling her. There's an anniversary coming up of a pretty bad event in which I lost somebody that was real close to me, right? And on that day or sometime around it, I have what I've now dubbed, as of right now, a day of reflection, where I'm thankful about the things that I have in my life, the people who I have around and stuff like that. And I use that day of reflection to where I ignore everybody else and it's just me. I don't have my phone around me. I don't have she will know where I'm at. This year it might just be at home, But if I need to be reached for an emergency, certain people will know how to reach me. But I do that like twice a year, and May's one of those times that I do that. But outside of that, I enjoy actually spending time with Michelle. And it's funny because when I say your name, you be like, "Wait, what I do wrong?"
That's not what you call me.
Because I typically call her Cheryl Bell or Shell. So when I say Michelle, and sometimes I'll say her name just because I'm thinking about something else, but then I want to get your attention for something. So I just say Michelle, and
when
then
you say Michelle,
you'll
I'm
be like, "Wait, what happened?" And I'm like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" Like, you just said my full first name, and I'm like, "Did I?" And you're like, "Yeah," and then I'm like, "Oh, well, just answer the question." But I think that that's critical, right? So for you, you like that you feel seen with me, that I can support you. And those are the two biggest ones from my perspective.
Yeah,
You care that you feel seen and that I support you, right? I know nothing about Greek organizations or whatnot whatsoever. I had a crash course over the last couple of days, but I showed up. You know, I didn't have to go to that dinner, and I'm not gonna looking around the room. There wasn't a lot of couples there, but there were other spouses or significant others of members of your sorority that were there.
And I'll be honest, some of the people, like my line sister Gloria, was more excited to see you than she was to see me. Like, not even gonna lie. She came up and gave you a hug from behind.
Yeah, there were a couple
Meanwhile,
of people.
I think I just got like a little shoulder pad or whatever. She came up, hugged you from behind, said, "When y'all coming out to see me?" And I'm like,
you had some people that showed love to not just you, but to me as well, which I think is dope too, because we don't shy away from sharing each other on our social media. I want to say we did. So let's talk about that too as well. Social media is here. It's not going anywhere.
nope, unless you're TikTok and you could be banned by the end of the year. But aside
Yes.
from that,
Anyway, social media has been good and bad for a relationship. And other places to include us, we've talked about the whys with that. I like that you and I can share things on social media. We're making a choice to do this, actually, by the way. There are people that will say social media is bad for relationships. But where do people, besides maybe within their circles, where do they see good relationships at? You know, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to just showcase and talk about pillars or things that can make and showcase a healthy relationship. We're not saying we're experts at none of this.
nope.
But what we are saying and what we're talking about is that there are observations of things that don't work in just our relationship, but that can be solid foundation blocks for a healthy relationship if you were to also get out there and do it as well and find somebody that has similar values that can work with you and your values, because y'all both want a healthy relationship. I literally just had a conversation yesterday with somebody that shared one of the wildest stories with me, right? And I'm not going to put their business out there. Yet, what I am going to say is that, in my opinion, this person has gotten to where they want a healthy relationship. Yet, what they keep bumping into are trash dudes that aren't being honest, trash dudes that are saying one thing and doing something else. And those are two things that I don't advise men to do. I think men should be setting the standard for other men to follow and for other women to approach. I think that will naturally weed out a lot of bad things that we're seeing in relationships. What's going to be a roadblock for that is, I know wealthy men, it's not that they have options because they're wealthy. I know wealthy men that they just don't care for a relationship. So they're on Seeking and other places, and they have different women for different things, and they're okay with that because they feel as though that's protecting their wealth by not getting married. And what it's allowing though is you'll get those women that they're on board with that because they're getting trips to courtside seats, trips to the Maldives, trips to Bora Bora and some of these other exotic places because this man is financing that and transactionally paying, and that woman is okay with that transaction, and of course he's okay with it because he gets the company of somebody for this trip or whatnot. But then at the end of it, you go on your way, I go on my way. What that's ruining down the line is that for that lady, she might get used to that.
And see, that's exactly what I was about to say. The issue is that we have women, especially Black women, who with certain financial status, and they're not willing to date below that. And I'm not saying that they should. I'm saying they certain financial threshold, and they're no longer below that. But at their level or above are men who are not willing to commit.
Yep.
So it's like your option is be with that man who's at your financial level or above, but who's not willing to commit, or date below your financial level. Get a man who's willing to commit, but then you have to be authentic and upfront and honest with yourself about being in a relationship less than you. And unfortunately, Black women hit that threshold before more often than white women. And it's mainly because when white women build their wealth, they build wealth with their man. Like they've already secured the man before they secure the bag, and they're securing the bag with the man. Mm-hmm. Whereas Black women, our careers, everything before we pursue the man. So we secure the bag and we never secure the man. So I think that's where a little bit of the disparity comes in. You're not necessarily going to see that happening with white women. White women of a certain age and of a certain wealth, they already have their man, or they're on man number 2. Like they've already moved past that first one, but they've already had that initial marriage, that initial relationship. They're either in it or they're past it, but they've already had it. Black women, same age bracket, same wealth bracket, they don't have it.
Yeah.
I look at Oprah and I'm like, I think had she gotten married earlier on in life, we wouldn't have the Oprah that we had. But Oprah went to secure her bag, and then Oprah was like, no, I'm not married.
That's the perfect example for what you just said. But even at a smaller level, I see that in several of my peers that are my age and above that secured the career but didn't secure the man. And now, because they won't, and I'm doing air quotes, because they won't date down, they're having a harder time finding. So we just got spam. I was trying to get in and block it real quick before we ended the show. Okay. All right. Richard Bronco said you can thank my generation for changing all of those rules for y'all. And he was talking about what we one of the points that you and I were talking about earlier. Now, before we go, I'll cock it to the side like T.I.
Oh, I don't think I can finish that lyric. Never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You trying to get this podcast banned? All right. So, to close us out, I don't need love. Say it louder.
Love. We literally talked about it.
And because I don't need love,
your favorite rapper, the whole song, how he love.
LL Cool J, I need love.
Exactly.
He was being a simp.
He was not.
What do you have to close us out with, though?
What I have to close us out with is, y'all, authenticity goes a long way. So when you were out there and you were trying to date, be honest with yourself first so that you can be honest with that person that you're trying to be with, or that person that want to pursue or that person that you will end up with, to be honest with yourself. And if love is something you need and require, don't be ashamed of it. Don't run from it and don't settle for anything less than that. However, be authentic and truly show up in everything.
That's exactly what I had to say. Not word for word in all of it, but the part that I'm going to emphasize is being authentic with yourself. People say love yourself first, but what does that look like? In my opinion, what that looked like for me was being able to look in front of a mirror, smile, and tell myself I'm the ish. Being able to go out to the movie theaters and not care that I was going solo. Being able to dress up and go to Ruth's Chris solo and not worrying about if I look pathetic or not because I'm out by myself getting something to eat, right? That's how that was for me, okay? So God Happened to Me said, thank you so much for joining tonight. I appreciate you popping that in on the chat. My brain goes into reading mode and I was like, wait, God Happened to Me is you. So thank y'all for joining in tonight.
Thank you.
Next week, we're going to have a call-in show. Now, how that's going to work is you will be able to, there'll be a link for you to be able to join in. You can not be on camera if you don't need to, but it works in a way that you have the ability to do it. You can do it from either your mobile phone or a laptop or desktop or whatnot. But we want to hear y'all's dating stories. We would like to hear from people that have had successful relationships longer than 20 years, right? If you are that couple, call in. Like I said, the reason why we do this, there's not a lot of people choosing to go the non-scandalous route for live streams and podcasts. Scandals and drama gets views. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to showcase a healthy relationship and talk about ways that you can find that for yourself. So if that works for you, hit the like button, hit the share button as well, right? People like, folks don't want to hit the share button. Why not? Share that.
And then also feel free to join us even if you haven't been in a relationship for 20 years. If you're out there dating and you just feel like talking and sharing, like letting us know what it's like out in the dating world. One of the things that one of my married line sisters said was that she saw what the dating pool looks like and it's trash. And like to hear that from a married woman, like, come on, y'all. If married people are noticing it, then y'all need to be cognizant of the very same thing.
That part. That's it.
That's it.
We usually end our show with a very specific action. This person likes to think that I forget, but I never forget because it's one of my favorite parts of the show. Bring them lips over here, baby.
Yes.
That's a little bit longer, but I'll take it. Bye, y'all.
Bye.